moving on to video number 2, talking about how I'm coping with lockdown and a coronavirus pandemic as an autistic person with OCD. So I talked about good mornings and I took you up to my lunchtime, or just my walk that I take just before I have my lunch, and I go out for about 30 minutes just to get that exercise, change of scenery, and the all-important vitamin D. So I do that at around sort of like 11, and I'm back by about 11:30 or just after 11:30, as I try and stay out for about 30 minutes to get the sunshine on my skin and some exercise. It's a bare minimum right now. Ideally I'd do more than that, normally I do, but I've got to kind of balance that with my OCD. But I think I'm doing well, that I do at least get out every day, even if it's only for 30 minutes. Could be worse. So the afternoon is spent catching up on, I do read the Corona news. As I said in my previous video just before this one, I do like to stay informed, because some people find it overwhelming, but I actually like the facts. Now I know we're in this situation, and I am actually a little bit interested in it as well, like the science behind it and stuff. I find it quite fascinating, and it can reassure me at times as well, because facts can be quite reassuring. Even facts that aren't great reassure me, because they're facts, and their facts are certain, right? So yeah, it makes me feel in control, the knowledge. As I say, although for others, the news can be triggering, because we're all different, for me, it helps me. So as I said in my previous video, before Corona, I avoided the news precisely because it often triggered my OCD or made me aware of things I did not need to know about. But considering I know we are in a bad situation, more information helps me, because I already know what the situation is. It's a definite thing. It's predictable and certain. So not knowing at this time is actually worse than knowing about a situation that is factually here and not going away anytime soon. I also watch Netflix films or DVDs or documentaries in the afternoon, and that's a great distraction as well. I was watching the Stephen King original 1990 miniseries, It, that got out on DVD recently. So I do like a good horror film, although it doesn't really scare me actually, it just makes me laugh at the moment. Horror film is like sort of dark comedy really. So lots of films, and then I always eat my meal around the same time, about 5:30 every day, and then I watch YouTube videos. I like to catch up on YouTube before I go to bed, because I find YouTube quite relaxing, and it's just like low-key entertainment, and I often like watching other autistic people talking about their experiences. I find it interesting, and I follow quite a lot of autistics on YouTube, so I always do that before I get to bed, because that always just like helps me relax, and it's just an important part of my routine at the end of the day. And then I always go to bed at the same time every single day. I have a very strict bedtime routine. I always follow the same routine. Go to bed at 9:45. I go to bed quite early because I do need a lot of sleep, and it sometimes takes me a while to get to bed, so I need that head start really. So I always go to bed at the same time. And I'm coping with Corona far better than expected, I would say, all considering I do have OCD. I mean, obviously, as I say, I can't go into shops at the moment, but that's kind of hardly surprising considering the extent of my OCD. But aside from that, I would say I am coping with it pretty well, all considering, far better than actually I would have thought I would cope in a pandemic situation. So the main issue is that I can't go food shopping because of my extreme OCD and severe anxiety around the changes in the shops and the risk of illness. And I'm not sure when I will be able to go on public transport or near people again. It could be years before that happens. I'm prepared for that. You know, I'm a realist. I understand it could take a very long time before my OCD gets back down again. But there was a long build-up before lockdown, as I said, and I've had a lot of time to prepare for the changes, which I think is why I'm coping quite well. And yeah, my main priority is to stay safe. I'm very logical. I'm not driven by emotion. If I know the facts and why something is happening, it is easier to deal with. So I guess this situation is affecting everyone. So I mean, I'm not missing out individually because we're all missing out. Because I do sometimes like get stressed, say, if I feel I can't do something but other people can, and I say if I really wanted to do something and then that option is taken away from me but other people can do it and I don't understand the reasons why I can't do it, that can really stress me. But when we're in a situation where everyone is missing out in some way, and there's clear reasons for that, it can be easier for me to deal with. Yeah, it's a certain factual closed situation essentially. There's no loopholes, you know, there are clear reasons for why things are happening. Also, my own routine matters more to me than external issues. As long as I can continue to read and cook, I'm okay. But if this routine alters, I explode. So it's quite interesting that I get more fixated and obsessed on the tiny details within my own routine sometimes than actually what is going on outside. I've always been like that because I'm so focused on my own routine. that's in a way more important to me than what's going on outside. So, like the little details in my life cause me far more upset than what's going on outside. I focus on the detailed elements of my routine. I mean, noise and distractions, or not being able to read or go to bed on time really upsets me in a way that actually bigger events often do not, which is a strange thing. I don't know if other autistic people watching this can relate. It's often like the small little changes that can be more stressful than big changes in a weird way. Which is sometimes like, it's not always the case with autism, but like every single change affects you in the same way. Some changes you cope with better than other changes. In my case, it's often the little details that affect me the most. I think it's because I am so hyper-focused on the order of my routine, which helps me stay sane when everything else falls apart. Certain predictable constants cannot be messed with. The sort of fixed dates or times in my schedule, the sort of sacred anchoring points, cannot be messed with, for example, my bedtime. I'm better able to deal with other changes if the details of my ordered routine stay the same. So coronavirus then has not massively changed my lifestyle, other than the slight changes to my support, because I can't see anyone face to face, but that's my decision because I'm OCD. But I am still getting the support though, and this is helping me cope too, as it is another predictable constant. So it's not like my support is like gone away or like completely changed. I am still getting the constant regular phone calls and stuff. So again, that's another regular constant I rely on to help me feel safe and grounded, and that's really important. And also my synesthesia helps, as it means I can see time passing more quickly and in an ordered way, and this helps me maintain perspective and know that things will eventually get better, even if only in little steps, because I can see the order, I can see time, I can see it moving, a progression into next year in a very coloured, textured way, and I think that really helps me because it gives that order and structure in my whole way of seeing is structured and ordered. I just wanted to conclude by mentioning the Stockdale paradox, which I thought was quite interesting. I read about this recently. Now, in short, Stockdale was a US Navy officer, prisoner of war in Vietnam, and he was very realistic while he was a prisoner of war. He hoped for the future while accepting the grim current facts. So it's not blind optimism, it's pragmatic, but at the same time having faith in the future and that you will survive. So it's about combining realism and optimism, and that helps survival in really hard situations. It's a type of resilience, I'm in a tough spot, but I will prevail. And I just wanted to mention that because I read about it the other day, and I thought that kind of pragmatism, that kind of facing up to the situation you're in and accepting the grim, hard situation that you're in, but at the same time knowing that things will get better in future, and having that faith that things will get better in the future can really help you to get through tough situations. I think I'm quite good at doing that anyway, because I'm quite a realistic, feet on the ground, pragmatic person. I'm not a very emotional person, and I think actually not having emotions, or at least not the full spectrum of emotions, or really understanding them and being very logical and Spock-like in a sense, can actually be quite an advantage in situations like this, and maybe a positive potentially of autism for some people. Obviously, autism is such a massive thing. Some people might not be completely different and be very emotional and finding that really struggling. I'm only really speaking for myself and the type of autism I experience, because everyone's different. But I could really relate to that kind of pragmatic, realistic approach, because that's how I am anyway. And I think it's because I've experienced stress all my life. As I said, my brain's always in lockdown. I think in a way, because I'm always under that level of stress, I have had to find ways to cope just to survive. So being in this kind of situation isn't new to me. This is just an intensification of the stress I already experience in my day-to-day life, and I've had, just to survive, I've had to learn ways to cope. So that also again might be why I'm actually doing reasonably okay, even though I do have severe OCD and obviously the autism as well. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and do let me know in the comments box below how you are dealing with lockdown. I'll be interested to know. Do please hit that notification bell to get notifications of my videos, and do please subscribe if you haven't done so already, and do please like my videos if you like to see more similar content. Okay, so thank you for watching.